What's up, guys? Welcome back to lesson two. Hope you've gotten the hang of shortcuts and maybe how to use the result tool and cut out your clips. And I hope you did some practice on your own and maybe even learned how to do it faster than you used to, maybe in week one. So let's get into sequences and a sequence just where you work. Okay, a sequence is like your kitchen where you make your where you cook. If you're familiar with some editing terms, and if someone finishes an edit that is very mind blowing and crazy, you might see in the comments editors will be like, "Guy, this guy cooked, or more you cooked too, or you killed it, you nailed it." Your a sequence is where you cook. It's like your timeline. Is a section of your timeline where you cook your edits. Let me use that word. You get so, and these are all sequences. Okay, these are the lessons I taught you on the works. This is one sequence. This is another sequence. Like I said, these are just where you make your edits and do some of the work your client gives to you or your personal projects. That is what a sequence is used for. Okay, you can import all your videos into Premiere Pro, but if you don't create a sequence to work with, yeah, you can't do anything in Premiere Pro. Okay, and that's even what I was doing. Yeah. So when I give you lesson one and I just maybe brought in a clip and bring it, my this monitor was in my other screen. Okay, I'm using two screens. I just brought it in from here. Yeah, so I told you I like using mine like this. Okay, so I think in lesson one, if I can remember correctly, I think I just brought the lesson I gave to you, not shortcuts now. The main lesson, I think I just dragged it and dropped here. Okay, I just dragged, and just a heads up, I'm using my trackpad. I'm not using my mouse, so I might make some mistakes because I use my mouse a lot, but it just went bad, and I had to record. If not, there won't be any lesson for today. So I had to just do this myself. Okay, so if you see what I did here, I just moved. I'm gonna undo that again and drag this. This is like my video when I mixed it, and I just dragged it, and it opened up a new sequence for me, my timeline panel. Okay, so I'm gonna close this again and undo this. So by doing that, I can also create an automatic sequence. Okay, so I don't want you to feel like this is something very very big or gigantic. Which one is sequence again? No, no, no. It's very very easy. Okay, you've done it before. You did it in class one. I did not just teach on it. Okay, but I want to talk about it now because there might be times where your clients might tell you to do something else in a sequence and you need a sequence to change some things. Okay, which we'll get right into. Okay, so we're going to create a new sequence from scratch. The best way, like I told you, is to carry a video. Like I said, maybe if you have this video now for lesson two is in your, like I said, it's in your Google Drive folder. So just follow the link on Telegram channel and then you'll access it. Okay. And once you download it, you can just drag it in. I've already done it, but I'll delete this again because I've not worked on any edits. Okay. So I would drag and drop and I create a new sequence. So this is one way to do it. Okay. But and you can scroll through my clip. This is just me talking about some things on online. Okay. And I well, it's me recording my old works setup. Okay, so this is a sequence, like I said. All these are sequence, and I think we started using sequences in after Premiere Pro 2017. Okay, so 2017 before 2018 came out, you could only work with only one clip or create only one sequence per project. Remember, so for you to start and for you to create another sequence or work on another video, you had to close this file, save your file, close, and open up Premiere Pro afresh and begin to work with in a new file altogether. But from 2018, we could create more sequences. Okay, and we've come a long way since then. So I'm just giving you a brief rundown on history so you would have the knowledge for knowledge sake. Okay, makes you look like an expert. Like I said, this is one way to drag it. This is like the default way. In fact, I do this most of the time now. But in a situation whereby maybe the clients who shot the videos on maybe two or three different cameras with different frame rates. Once I see something like a video was shot in 29.37 FPS, like you're seeing here, or 30 frames per second, it means the video shoots 30 images per second or even milliseconds. I will check it as but 30 images per second. Okay, so when you have frame rates per second, you shoot at 30 frames per second. So out of every second, you get 30 frames. Okay, and that is why most times they also have 60 frames. They have cameras that shoot 50, 60, 120, 240. They have cameras that shoot at 1,000 frames. I don't know if I should do an in-depth teaching on this. I would need to open up a lot of things. Well, but I'll just do it for doing sake. Okay. So Pick one. If you go to, let me just do this briefly. I'm gonna pull up a creator. I hope he still does it. As long as I went to his profile. He has a camera that shoots at 1,000 frames per second. And the good thing about shooting in this frame rate, the difference is just that when you are trying to slow down your video, you have a smoother video than when you shoot in 30 frames per second. Now, the standard rate for shooting is still 30 frames per second. 30 frames is still standard for anything you do. So if you look at your phone camera or most frame rates in which clients will shoot their videos on YouTube or any other platform, most times it's always in 30 frames. Then maybe you can see 60 frames once in a while. Okay, but some of those higher FPS, that's those frame rates, are just because they are either um, trying to get a slow motion video that will make it very smooth, or they are gamers, or maybe they just want to give you a more hyper realistic version for your eyes. Okay, 120 frames per second it's smoother. 60 frames is smooth too. Yeah, but 30 frames is smooth also, but it's the normal. I think they say it's the normal level through which our eye sees things. So I'm just gonna pull up. I think it's Cooley. All right, so he's a movie director. So I'm just gonna share my screen. So I'm just gonna give you an example of how FPS works. Okay, so what he does, he uses his camera. His camera shoots at 1,000 frames, and once they shoot at 1,000 frames, he now shows the before and after. So he shows. Why am I even talking? Let me just show you. This is Kim Wexler. If you've watched uh Better Call Saul, I think she was in Better Call Saul. Yeah. So um, I think her name should be Rhea Seehorn, but let's see. I think this is on mute.
You're on top of the mark. There's a star. Oh, right there. Perfect. All right, so it's high-speed slow motion camera. Going to move quickly, shoot you in slow motion. Looking for a cool little
So
move
it shoots in slow motion, but it shoots so fast. So
into a pose.
Small move into a pose.
Big move into a pose if you can. Yeah.
Probably not.
I'll take. I mean, it doesn't have to be
Shoes are
big.
too high.
Yeah. Even a little turn, give a little kiss, hand on the hip, like kind of just a little movement into a pose. So camera's ending right there. It's starting in that corner. I'll say 3, 2, 1, action. You hit it. Eyes right in the camera.
All right.
Lovely. All right, ready, and 3, 2, 1, action. Yeah, gorgeous.
you can see how fast
Killed it.
the camera moved.
Yeah, perfect, yeah. Hi, Ray.
So you can see a video or a camera that shoots at 30 frames per second can never do this. It can never be this smooth. Okay. And how I knew the camera is 1,000 frames per second is he told us. I think one of his videos, I used to follow him then. He did something like that. I don't know if you should check. Okay, let's look at this.
Hi, my dear.
Oh God, what do I do?
We're gonna I mean, look at this outfit. It's so cool. Let's just have you right on top of the mark to start there. Can we move these
So
sleeves? I don't know what
you can see the camera. You can see the camera here. Is a very high-end camera. So I'm just using this to teach you frame rates. Okay?
A scarf? What do you call this?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is it like a cape?
A cape, sure. A golden cape. Yeah, can we move it somehow? I just want a little bit of movement, right? So camera's
I
gonna
will
move.
move. Don't you worry.
Okay, do you know which way you're gonna kind of
what if
move?
I start?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. We'll stay in a high push wrap. So camera's gonna end right over your left shoulder. Gonna start in the corner. I'll say 3, 2, 1, action.
Camera's gonna end where?
Right here.
Oh,
right
yeah.
here.
Okay.
I'll say 3, 2, 1, action. Give me a big spin and then find the camera right there.
So I spin when you say start.
Action and then start your spin.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, ready. And 3, 2, 1, action. Yeah, amazing.
So you can see how fast she did that, and look at how the camera is getting it in slow motion. Getting almost every single detail. You can see how beautiful it is.
How about
Yeah, so you can see that. So that is just what FPS means in Premiere Pro. So this is free knowledge for you. You should pay me for this. Yeah, so that is just what FPS is. So this is your frame rate. All our videos are shot in FPS. If I should slow this down, I don't want my even. So compare what you just watched now. That's these videos. Where are you? These videos, you compare it to me slowing down this video. Not just take a course in 1 week or 1 month and expect to be as good as. Now I'm going to slow this down to like, let me even do 50%. Go to speed, duration, and let's say 30%. And I say, okay. So I'm going to play this back. you can see how it's choppy. Like it's not as smooth. And this is because it was shot in 30 frames. Like I told you, 30 frames, 30 still images per second. You cannot compare the smoothness when you're shooting with a video camera that shoots at 1000 frames per second. You get, so that's why you need to know your gear. You need to really know your software a lot and the frame rate you shoot in. You get, so, but for social media, this is totally acceptable. 30 frames. Every single YouTube video you would ever work on, most of the time will be 30 frames or 24 frames. Even Hollywood standard, their movies are shot. They prefer shooting in cinematic mode for, and they shoot at 24 frames or 23.9 FPS, and that is just uh what you need to know about frame sequences you get. So it's in the sequence panel. When you create a new sequence, that you can choose some of these aspect ratios. Okay, you choose your resolution, you choose your aspect ratio, you choose every single thing that um you want to include in your video. Okay, so if maybe your client tells you he gives you a camera, one camera shoots at 30 frames, one camera shoots at 60 frames, you have to now know what to do in that situation. You have to maybe create a default sequence that can now shoot on maybe that 20 or 30 frames, okay, so that the other 30 frame video would not kind of get choppy or lagging. You get, so that's just all you need to know. This brief history intro about it. Okay. So when I'm talking about all these FPS, you won't be so confused. So but just know 30 frames is fine. If all I'm saying is confusing to you, 30 frames is fine, 24 frames is fine. In fact, in your mobile devices, most of the time you would not even need, it's just 30 frames. Okay. They don't even specify some of this unless you're using maybe high-end devices like maybe an iPhone 15 or 16 or a Samsung Galaxy phone. So you would see where you can shoot in raw mode or pro mode. Then you can now choose the frame rate if you want. You get, so I think my phone shoots up to 120 frames. My Samsung, yeah. Use Samsung. I don't use iPhone. Don't like iPhone for now. I like MacBook. So I don't hate Apple. So to create a new sequence, like I said, I did this. I just moved this in, and the other way to do that, if I didn't want to do this, I can just delete this, and maybe for the sake of this video, I'll delete all these two. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we don't have anything here. Then I can just go here, new item, and it brings up this button for you. These are custom sequences I've created for myself, and maybe I'll get to it in a bit. The main thing you need to understand as an editor, editing for social media and maybe any other post production stuff for now is just this HD settings and the social settings. I think it's even easier most times because most of the jobs you'll be getting are for social media and for social media platforms. Okay, then to create this custom thing, you can of course watch the frame rate of your video. This is 23.37. I can do 1080 by 23.937 or 976. You have 25 frames, we have 29 frames, you have 650, you have 59.94. Now, which is also 60. Okay, so these are just different frame rates that Adobe gives us that we can use to create sequences. You get, so, and we can just select any of these ones. Now, if maybe this is not here, the 23.37, 29.37 is not here, so we can just choose the closest, which is 23.9. If this was, let's say, 30 frames now, and this there's no 30 frame sequence, and we just want 30 frames, we can now go to the settings and adjust it ourselves. So we can now choose either 30 frames, 29.97, 59. We can even choose 60 if we want. We can choose 10 frames, we can choose anyone. But like I said, most of the time, look at the cinematic mode I told you that Hollywood movies are shot in most of the time. If it's not, some shoot in 30, sometimes they shoot in 24 frames, and sometimes because they want to get a wide angle. This is for a camera knowledge. So you don't need to know know most of this. So yeah, then if you're doing this custom in the custom way, you choose. I was going 24 frames, please, or let's do 23.976 because it's closer to this. Okay, then you can choose your 1920 by 1080, 16:9 vertical. 16:9 vertical is just the same thing with your resolution. Okay, and I'm not supposed to go into this for a lot. When you see a 69 video, 69 video is just a YouTube video, a video that is shot in a wide format. So something like the video you did in your assignment, or something like this, a 69 video is just video that you shoot in a wide and in a horizontal layout. Okay, if you want to remember this thing, just know for YouTube videos and normal maybe LinkedIn wide angle videos or normal movies you watch, it is shot in a 69 frame, and the default resolution is 1920 by 1080. If all these things are confusing to you, like I said, you can just come and drag and drop. But there might be times you might need it. So just in case, I'm giving you a master class, so you can just drag and drop it into this place. But I think you'll need this knowledge eventually, okay? Especially when you're about to create stuffs like this YouTube shorts now. So this is Ali's channel for the long form videos, but we also have short form content, which is what is even in vogue these days. Okay, so this is like a 1920 1080 by 1920 by 1080 video. So, but we still have shorts, which is what is running in Instagram now. This kind of format. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Premiere. If you want to create videos like this for a wide format, you can do long form. Let's rename this to long form. You save this. This is just to change it to anything you want to change the name. You can leave all this as it is. You can use this pixel aspect ratio should always be square pixels. You can leave this as it is. You leave your audio. Everything is there. The preview file format should be QuickTime and Apple ProRes. Yeah. So you do this and just click on OK. Okay. And it opens up. Now when you want to drag this and drop here, it might bring up a warning like, look at that. This is not the same sequence. So with the sequence just created, because of course we did 24, but this is 29.3 here. So we can just move this and move this here. I'm gonna bring it, okay. Clip miss patch one. In this clip does not always match the sequence settings. Change sequence to match the clip settings. Just keep exiting. Click on keep exiting settings. So we do this and we have our video, like I said. So all this that I explained now was to, instead of just doing dragging and dropping, maybe doing this and dragging and dropping here. Where my mouse pad, like I told you. It's still the same video. Okay, still the same video, and it looks almost identical. Okay, the only difference is just in the frame rate. And like I said, if you just have one clip, you can do the first example now. But if you want to switch over to do work on short form content, you will now have to come and customize these sequences for yourself. Okay, so this is where you have to go back. I'm going to go back to the new item again, go to sequence, and create a sequence. Now I'm going to create a sequence. Maybe I want to now make this kind of video for Ali. I want to make let's say, let me close this. I want to make this short form content. Okay, and you know the way Ali makes some of these videos, some of these videos were first of all shot in this mode. So after they were shot in this long form format, he now comes and makes shorts for that Instagram. He's also on Instagram, by the way. Let me know if I can get him. She's also him here. So you can see him here. So he has a short form content and he does short form content too. So I think most of the times he shoots in long form first, then he now repurposes it for short form content. And if he does that, it means that you would have to learn how to repurpose this, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. So this is why this class is still important. Okay, how to repurpose short form content and long form content. Okay, so you can do this, and I have to add this: your video has to be shot in long form or landscape mode for you to be able to repurpose your video to portrait or vertical. So your videos have to be shot like this, long form. You get, so you before you can be able to do this. If you shoot your videos like this, you can't get it for long form. It's still gonna be straight. So, but to make the sequence, like to make that vertical sequence, once you go here or choose the aspect ratio, let's choose this, or let's even choose 25 frames. Let me just show you that it doesn't really matter like this. You don't have to change this 16:9. It has to switch. Okay, so you have to you have to switch. Remember, this, I don't know if it's gonna show. This is the wide format, so you now have to switch it so in such a way that your video rotates. Okay, so what I mean is just switching the aspect ratios. Okay? You switch this, so you switch from 1080 to 1920, and you have a 916 format instead of a 69 format. Okay, the 69 format is this, these kind of videos. Yeah, but the 916 formats are these ones. Okay, they are vertical videos. They are the videos that are running on IG and TikTok and everything. So yeah, so they are called also shorts. Okay, because they're just as they are vertical like that. They're also short form content. They're like you can extract maybe if Ali does. If you look at his long form content, you can see maybe a video that's like 1 hour 17 minutes, 15 minutes, 14 minutes, 4 minutes, 1 hour 28 minutes, and 4 minutes. But for short form content, they're just like shorts like 1 minute 6 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe but really 3 minutes, just 1 minute 30 seconds, 1 minute 30 seconds you get. So for short form content, once I'm done with this, I've changed this okay to 916 and I can just change this to short form. Because it didn't rename so short form and click OK. You can see the difference between this and this. Okay, this is the wide angle, the wide format, and this is like the Instagram reel format. So I can still bring in my lesson to exercise and drag and drop. And this is why I told you you have to sometimes you have to keep existing settings because the setting we want obviously does not match this frame rate and this resolution you get. But we want to repurpose it for social media. So that is why we are doing it like this. So you can just click on keep existing settings, then you can see it brings up something smaller. Then we don't have to either if you use Premiere Pro 2025, you can just come and click on fill and it fills up your screen. Okay, this is not for short form. If you don't use Premiere Pro 2025 and you come across this, you won't see this. So you have to go to your skill and scale it up, which I'll be coming to maybe in a couple of maybe next class or so because this class is already long. Okay, so we have our video for vertical videos and we have one for horizontal videos. Okay, so you can even edit this if you want to. You can edit this video.
Doctor is meant to guide you.
Then I can post this one
meant
if I'm
to guide-
done. I can post it on YouTube if I have a YouTube channel and watch this and post maybe the short form content on Instagram. Okay. So you have to know about sequences. It's very, very important. So guys, I had to just add this in and show you a faster way because I realized I was supposed to do it, but I didn't touch on it initially. So and my light is not on. I don't have strength to turn on this thing now. It's just here. But you need to focus on the video and not me. So the faster way to do, like I said, this is just to go to sequences for the short form content. Instead of maybe going to sequences, going to HD and changing this from this, for example, instead of changing from this, then you go and maybe go to sequence settings and you then change it for vertical. Now, if you want to do a social media short form content, you change from 1080 to 1920. Instead of doing this and getting this, yeah, it can help you sometimes, but Premiere Pro has optimized their sequence presets in such a way that you can just get this instead of doing all this I did here to get this. You can just come to social and select social portrait 916. So remember, I think in the video I was telling you 16:9 was for this. So you do this. This is a 16:9 video, like I showed in those YouTube videos. A 16:9 video. Then, well, once you just click on social media portraits 916, you can also get this. You can see it. So this is sequence 9. This was the one we created. We switched by ourselves. While sequence 10 is simply just using the social media preset already. So you don't even need to create any custom presets. Unlike in my time when Premiere didn't have all these things in my time, so I had to go and create my own for Reels and Reels updates. So I had one for 640 by 1136 for YouTube Shorts. I was that wrote this YouTube Shorts, TikTok, IG then. And I had for Reels updates the 1080 by 1920. Okay, but Premiere has made it easy that I don't need these ones again. I can just click on this 916 basically. If I want to create, there's a time we could create other videos like a 4:5 video or a 1:1 video. This 1:1 video is just a square format. Okay, well, this was how Facebook used to use allow people to repost their videos then. Okay, when before Mark Zuckerberg bought IG and Twitter was using 4:5 aspect ratio. So sometimes your clients can still tell you they want a 4:5 aspect ratio. You can just come and put this, select this, and give it to them. Okay, you can see the difference. This is bigger. You can just use. Let me know. This is not the same thing with this. Okay, this is like is a 9:16 aspect ratio. But I think I should just add some videos so you would see what I'm talking about. Um, let's into exercise. So let's see if you can add this to this, keep existing settings. This is the normal 9:16 video, the vertical video for social media. So you can just scale up like I told you, or I'm using this for the sake of the 22 users. Then if you add this here for the 490 videos, you can add this here and you can see keep existing settings. It's fuller. This one is like uh slimmer, and this one is fuller for the 4:5 aspect ratio. Okay, and if you go to sequence settings and you check this, you would see it's a 4:5 video. You can see, yeah, it's A64 by 1080 4:5 vertical. Unlike this, that is for the sequence settings, that is 9:16 1080 by 1920. Okay, so most of the time you're working with 1080 by 1920. So all you need to do is just like I told you, go to sequence, go to 9:16 and click OK. Okay, then the square pixels, like I said, like, let's just do this for the sake. You can just do this and you add your lesson to it's just a square format. Okay, this was how, like I told you, Facebook used to do their own. Okay, so you can see this is wider, this is a square, like all sides are equal. Yeah, unlike this one is, I think this is shorter, this is longer. Then of course this is just what do you call it, the default aspect ratio for social media now. So TikTok, Facebook, even Facebook Reels, IG Reels, YouTube Shorts, all of them make use of the 1080 by 1920 sequence most of the time. Okay, while the long form version is always 1920 by 1080 or 1280 by 720. 780 by 720 is just a lower version, but most times you can even give it 1080. Okay, when it comes to 720, they are still the same aspect ratios. They are still the same. They're still the same thing. If I should do it, if I should come to sequence settings, let me go back to this. Let me change this to 1920 by 20 to a wide format and change this to 1920. I'll just give you an example by 1080. I do this is already wide format. I can, oh sorry, I want to do 720. I just want to do a 720 resolution just in case. 1280 by 720 to still give you 16:9. I click on it, fine, it's still the same thing, but it's just shorter than, like smaller than the 1080 resolution. Do you get? So I can just click on this and of course keep everything settings and it fills it up. It might be a bit bigger, yeah, I said, because I shot my video in 1080 and the export settings is in 720, the sequence settings, so I can just fit and it gets back to normal. You can get, so you see, so yeah, that's just how it is. It's not something to crack your head. It might sound like a lot of numbers for you, but it's very easy to learn and understand. Sure, you get, it's very easy. So I'll just give you your assignment. Your assignment is not be so tough, and you'll still working with your first clip. So if you did not do that first from assignment, what you have to do it. So you're going to work in that clip, and anyway, let's get into the assignment. So I'll see you in the next class.